All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. It is really confusing. It's a little frustrating. I don't even know the other adjectives to say, but it's crazy to see these 2 days on the NASDAQ. All right, I know it looks like a small percentage, but those are really big, strong candles. You can see the high of the day was essentially the close of the day to the penny. Like, two monster days on the NASDAQ, yet we see SOUNDHOUND do this, and really even MVIS do that. Like, I can't tell you how annoying that is. And look, you often hear me say there's nothing guaranteed or, perfect, whatever adjective you want to use behind technical analysis, right? We're here to set expectations, but one of my biggest ones really is if the indices do well, so will the stocks. If NASDAQ does well, so will tech stocks. And yeah, it's a little surprising to say the least. So maybe I'm going to need your help kind of seeing if there's any news I missed, but that's going to be the echoing theme, all right? And then I want to talk about CAVA. So I talked about SAVA yesterday. CAVA is another one today. It's, I think, well worth a look, all right? So before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, though, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, all right? So let's get into it. And again, SOUNDHOUND, man, I made the video over the weekend, and it wasn't crazy bullish to say the least, right? We were definitely under the 100, we were under the 8 and the 20, but one of the biggest things I said on the video over the weekend was if NASDAQ goes up, and it looked like it wanted to, right? Like, we went from this, I think we're gonna fall down here, to I think the lines are holding and I think we're gonna keep going up, right? And I kept saying if NASDAQ does this, I had nothing to expect except, SOUNDHOUND to duplicate it, right? Same with MVIS. If NASDAQ goes up, these two tech stocks should go up. And I'm telling you, I am struggling to find a reason why these are down. Don't get me wrong. I see the MACD isn't looking good. I see the RSI is not looking good. Obviously, volume's not looking good. And again, I know over the weekend things didn't look good, right? But it's just, I'm kind of repeating myself, right? It's hard to swallow a good NASDAQ, a great NASDAQ. I'm going to even just go back to it and call it a great NASDAQ. Literally today, just look at it again to the penny. The high of the day, which is the third line on the box, was exactly the close of the day, which is the first green number, right? Same number you see right there. So today was crazy strong, and let me know if there was any news, right? Like, I'm not sure. I didn't see anything. I'll be real honest with you. Maybe I missed it completely, right? But yeah, Monday we lose kind of like, and it's hard to say lose the lines because again, like I said, we've actually been under all 3 of these since this day, right? Since Wednesday. But I assumed the support was going to do well. I actually thought these 3 lines were going to do well. Damn. Yeah, I mean, look, right now there's a lot of pressure on that 50 moving average, right? Because the 200's up here, and you hear me say it all the time, get over all 5 and you fly, lose all 5 and you die. And it's just so weird for me just to say all that as, again, the NASDAQ goes up, right? But rough volume, I mean, again, I feel like at this point it's almost like a hindsight is 2020 review, right? Because it's easy to focus on these 3 now, but dude, that NASDAQ thing is just, it's blowing my mind, all right? I can't even like say anything otherwise, again, even on the weekly, we had two moving averages. That should have held this thing. And again, how does it go? Like, again, I don't want to like run in circles. Let me know if you know something I don't. Let me know if you disagree. Otherwise, it's really the exact same thoughts for MVIS. Look, with MVIS, I would even say MVIS had a little bit more bullishness going, all right? Obviously, this is a doji. You often hear me say the day after the doji is telling. And I mean, that was a crazy Monday when, again, Monday on the NASDAQ actually did really well. And then today does really well. And all we see is this little baby, almost insignificant recovery. Yeah, obviously it was green, but like I would have expected us to at least come to like 240, 248, 247, maybe even 250. Like, it's crazy to me to see these 2 days on these two tech stocks after the NASDAQ's doing what it's doing, you know? And again, I go back to there's nothing perfect, there's nothing guaranteed, there's no crystal ball in any of the things that I'm doing, right? But there's a couple baseline rules I have, and I will be very honest with you all. Seeing these two not follow NASDAQ does not make me throw away my NASDAQ rule. Like, this, in all honesty, is nothing more than a very weird anomaly, right? Like, it's an outlier. It's a 1 out of 100,000 moment, you know, and I'm obviously making up that number, right? But yeah, this shouldn't happen. This normally doesn't happen. I'm not gonna like change my rules because of it. But yeah, I'm not here pretending to understand the movement these last 2 days. One more time, if there was news that I wildly missed, please let me know. But yeah, I mean, neither chart looked technically bad, and the strength of the NASDAQ should have just, even if they were really bad, the strength of the last 2 days on NASDAQ actually would have corrected it in a normal moment. I will be honest, I even think the SPX is doing well too, S&P 500. This was a weird one. I have nothing too more to say, and I don't want to like run around in a circle, right? Yeah, there's no like crazy resistance. Like, this is an odd one. That's all I got. Let me know if you know something I don't. Let me know if you disagree. Otherwise, we're gonna come into CAVA right now, and CAVA is an interesting one. All right, so hey, if you can subscribe, you know, I'd very much appreciate that. But let's talk about this thing. First and foremost, you can see it. There is not a lot of history here, all right? That's actually a good thing, especially when the chart's kind of making what seems to be a recovery, all right? You know, it's one of my favorite sayings, right? But red turns to green very quickly, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't actually say very quickly. There's been a lot of like actually weird movement. You can almost say that this red was that green, all right? But anyways, right? I think what matters immediately, and again, I'm sorry to zoom in and out so much, is today, okay, yesterday, we were under every single moving average. There is no 200, right? So there are only 4 instead of 5 here. But the last 2 days, we were under them all, and today actually breaks them all. I need really good confirmation tomorrow, and that actually means closing around $41. It must close here for me to actually believe in, hey, look, this is a real low 67 RSI. This thing can still close at 41 and then day after maybe run all the way to like another 45. Man, maybe even 49. Actually, let's draw some lines. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. We'll put that right there. Again, that's the 41 I need tomorrow. And then, yeah, I'm going to take it to that. That's the 49 I thought that it could run to. Dude, if that breaks, we're basically talking about this and maybe more, right? But immediately, okay, immediately, I need to believe in this candle, okay? Because otherwise, I can easily see us coming down to 36 bucks. If 36 doesn't hold, it can very easily actually come down to 35, if not like 34.50, 34.40. So today was a big pop in volume, right? Yesterday, we were only 2 million. Today we decide to basically 8x that, right? So I want volume tomorrow to basically be around 14 million. Roughly speaking, we need about 1.5 million units, 1.5 million shares traded that first hour, right? Because roughly 1.5 times 8 should take us around that 16, 17 number that we're looking for, right? So I need volume. I need a good close tomorrow, and if both actually happen, there could be more for CAVA, all right? I would say, all right, I would say this can come, that's really low. No, I think the lowest I'm willing to let this come right here. I think that's our line. 35, let's call it 35. If this thing holds, so obviously I want it to close at 41. If it closes at $35.35 or higher, maybe it'll do some sort of silly recovery thing. What's tomorrow? Wednesday, on Thursday. Because I could see that bringing us a green, red. All of the, and again, I'm going to delete this line real quick, right? But like, let's say it comes down to where I think down here, right? 35. So it could even go a little bit lower, right? But just look at this, and then let me draw this. I'll just delete that. So if we come down to here, all I see is red, nothing really, green, right? So we can come down here tomorrow and then maybe still bounce up pretty fast on Thursday, all right? So 35 is the lowest I want to go. I'll tell you, if this thing can go to 41, there probably is enough gas in the tank to maybe even take it up to 49 from there, all right? So let me know your thoughts and opinions, even if you disagree. Otherwise, as always, hey, thank you.